Hey everyone, how are you? Joe here. So I just wanted to do a little video on and update you on what I've been up to. You know, as the spring and the summer comes, I do a lot of work outside, and I've actually landscaped this entire house. We built this house, so there was nothing here, and I approached the outside basically the same way that I do the inside, with the same kind of decorating principles, where I use colors that blend together, different kinds of textures and so on. So outside, what I did here was I didn't want to use so many flowers because they're very, very high maintenance. So I try to achieve some color balance with just different kinds of perennials and things that I don't have to go crazy with. As you can see here on the front porch, what I've done was I have this white urn, which was terracotta. I painted it white, and I used, in this urn, I used more of the burgundies, the burgundy spike with those leaves, and a little bit of yellow. And then what I did was I have these pots down here, which were also terracotta, and I painted those burgundy to pick up the burgundy that was in that pot. And then I put that hosta in there. That was one hosta that I split into many pieces, and I used that, and I have that on each side of the door, and I have the yellow marigolds in there also to echo my wreath that's on the door. What I've done in the landscape is I've tried to use different textures of plants, different colors of green, darker greens, lighter greens, blue greens, along with the burgundies to give color rather than just with the flowers. So you can see my hostas are doing absolutely wonderful here, and once again you see the burgundies with the lighter greens and so on. And I've done that also. I used some of the yellows, yellow greens. This again was one of those pots, and what I did was I put down a 12-inch by 12-inch tile on the bottom there, and then I painted the pot white, and then I put another 12-inch by 12-inch tile to give a balance, and I put an urn there, and it gives me some height on that one planter right there. So you can see here, there's one of my late blooming azaleas there. That's a really nice plant. And once again, you see I've mixed my burgundies with my lighter greens, and if you notice, I don't have mulch around these plants because it kept blowing away and I was having problems with it. So I used gravel here, and I also combined that with some of these white stones. Just let me show you what I did over here, because I wanted to create some kind of feature in this area right here. So what I did was I created a mock kind of a stream here. So you can see I just loaded up those rocks. I kind of made it like a cascading look, and then I used the white rocks to kind of look like they're spilling out and then into this pool area right here. So that gives me like a little bit of a so that it looks kind of like a waterfall. All right, let me bring you over on the side of the house. Show you what I've done. Okay, up the side, you see I keep echoing that same idea, just like you would do inside decorating. I use those same principles outside. So there again is like a pool of water. Those white rocks mimic the water for me. That's what's doing that. Now over on the side of the house here, I kind of made more like of a rock garden area. Take a look at this hosta. This is absolutely gigantic. It's got to be almost 3 feet across. It's unbelievable. Here's another one of my urns. I used yellow marigolds and purple petunias here, and some red petunias as well. They're just starting to fill out. So as you can see over here, I have more of a rock garden area going on. And once again, I did that same idea of having the water cascading out. So you can see under that dwarf Alberta spruce right there, I kind of made it look like the white stones, remember, mimic the water, so it's coming out, and I used the slate rocks on each side of them to make kind of a pathway that the water is spilling out into. And then over here what I did was I used these round rocks kind of like a bridge or stepping stones or whatever for me to walk over to the other side. These hosta, this was one big hosta, and I separated it into all of these multiple parts right here. So that is a really good plan. It's perennial and it's low maintenance, and you really don't have to do a lot with that. On this side of the house, I also picked up that burgundy because I didn't show you, but my shutters are burgundy on the house, so that's where it picks up on that. So I painted these 3 pots burgundy, and here I have my little bench that I got at Home Depot with my turtle in there, and then I kind of grounded the whole area with the hostas. And I have my Italian parsley here, I have a Dracaena spike, and my petunias, red and purple here, and I have a Scottish broom right there, which does get red and yellow flowers as well. Now this right here was, I had a couple of pallets left over, so I wanted to hide my air conditioning units from the street, so I just simply nailed them together. You can see it made like an L shape, and they're very heavy, so it just sits there, and I slapped some white paint on there, and it gives it more of a, you know, a better look from the street and as you come up this walkway. Okay, let's head over into the yard. Okay, so here we are coming into the yard, and you know, we don't have a big yard. It's okay. I mean, you know, we have enough for what we do here. And just let me take a quick scan around and show you what I've done over here. So first off, I'm going to show you this piece right here. This used to be grass. Actually, the whole yard used to be grass, and slowly I've been taking more and more and more of it away. And what was left was just a little patch of grass right here. So what I did was I kind of removed it, and I just put mulch in there with the red mulch to mimic the red in the brick patio, just to visually extend the entire area. So that was an easy and inexpensive thing to do. What I have over here is, if you see this, this is my wife Mary Ann's grandfather's wine press, and I took it outside here, and I stained the wood a darker brown, and I did the banding in a red color, and I have some sedum in there, which again is a perennial and easy, and another hosta, and then around the bottom I have just 6 tomato plants, and they're doing pretty well. They're getting really big for this early and have the flowers on them already. And then you can see I just made a little pad right here in that mulch area for my grill, and then right next to my grill I have 3 terracotta pots with my green basil, my purple basil, and a pot with some geraniums, red geraniums, and the marigolds. That used to be a bar over there, and it had stools, but they kind of got compromised, so I got nervous. I didn't want anybody to fall off them, so I threw them out, and I used that as my potting station. And then right next to it I have another terracotta pot with red and pink or fuchsia kind of geraniums. And then over in here I have a little angel which is sitting in another one of those urns. That's a Rubbermaid shed there. If you don't have a shed or thinking about a shed, they're really good. It's rubberized. It's not going to get rusty, and I've had, you know, the metal ones, and they're very high maintenance, and this is a good option. These 2 Chase lounges were actually my mother and father's. They're about 50 years old. They used to be silver. I painted them black to blend in with the rest of my coloring here, and obviously those pillows are not the originals. Those are different pillows. I tried to keep the pillows in a bluish and a greenish kind of a color, because as you can see I have these blue, bright blue tables over here. I think they're seafoam green, and I kind of use that because it mimics the pool. Over here I found this mirror on the trash somewhere, and I picked it up and I painted the outside that seafoam green, and I made 4 legs out of it, a little boxed area underneath. I think you can see it, using 4x4s and some wood. I made a little coffee table for this little area right here, a little seating area, kind of like a living room, so to speak. And on up here I just painted another one of those pots, that green, put a little bit of you know, a little plate there with some stones in it to hold it down, and little blue pig right there. Okay, and then you can see up in the umbrella there are those colors. There is the green, there is that blue, and so on. So it does kind of blend together. This area right here, you can see my angel right here, and again I use that same principle of combining the different shades of green and the and so on, and I use those hostas a lot because they're getting so big that it gives me the opportunity to divide them, and I created this whole thing right here. In the pool area you can see I have these great Adirondack chairs here, which have that same coloring as in the pool. That's like that seafoam green. I got that table, I bought 3 of them from Home Depot, and I found the exact same color, and I spray painted them for this pool area, and a couple of more of those Adirondack chairs from Walmart. I think they're like $16.88. They're really a good price. And you can see down there I just have an area with a bird bath and my hostas and some marigold to pick up some yellow. Couple of chairs, these cheap chairs, they were white, and I painted them hunter green. Now I painted them black, and I have my table in between them, as was with those other ones that I showed you before. Those are those really inexpensive chairs. For now, that's what I did, and I'm gonna make I'm gonna make pillows, and actually I'm gonna use the indoor-outdoor fabric, and I'm gonna fill them with sand so they give some weight, because anybody who has these kind of chairs, they tend to blow around. Okay, everybody, so that's what I've been up to here, working in my yard, working on the house like always. I hope everybody is having a great late spring, and as we move into summer, I hope you have a wonderful summer, and I'll be seeing you soon with a couple of projects that I'm going to add to back here. Okay, everybody, take care. See you soon.